Hi everyone, it's Graham again and welcome back to my channel. So today I am here with part 3 of my September book haul. Part 3. I have no self-control, but we all know this. So yeah, without much further ado, let's get into the books. So I have two sort of unopened parcels of books that I'm going to show you. And then I have 2 parcels of books that I need to unbox with you. So yeah, let's get into those. So the first one I have heard quite good things about, and I saw a copy of it online quite cheaply, and I decided to just go for it because I've seen it on Instagram, I've seen it in bookshops, and I've always thought I should really get that because it sounds really, really good, but I just haven't. So I have it now, and that's the main thing. It is Mayhem and Death by Helen McClory. I mean, look at that gorgeous foiling on the front cover, being rather beautifully lit up by my ring light. Yeah, so this sounds incredible. In the anticipated follow-up to 2015's award-winning On the Edge of Vision, Helen McClory returns, delving deeper into descriptively mythical yet recognisable stories, woven from dark and light, human fear and fortune. Swimming and suffering, spikes loom threatening, a weight against the throat, see where the dead lie, pressed into a layer of silt. A silent documentary through a terrible place. Mary Somerville, future queen of science, a coven of 2. Mayhem and Death shows McClory's expanding ability to envelop and entrance her readers with lyrical language of lore, stunning settings and curious characters. Mayhem and Death also introduces the brand new novella Powdered Milk, A Tale for the Lost. I think this may be an October read for me because that sounds quite sort of spooky monthish, and I'm there for that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. So the next one is I buy everything that this author does, and he is a fellow booktuber. He's an indie author, and his books are just fun. He's just brilliant, and his cat Biggie is just the best ever. This is The Lexicologist's Handbook by Dane Cobain, and this is a dictionary of unusual words. I love books like this that sort of delve a bit deeper into words. I mean, okay, you've got the dictionary, but it's dictionaries like this that I find really interesting because it's words and descriptions of these words that are quite sort of different and out there, and I'm really for that. And of course, as always, Dane has very kindly signed the book for me and thanked me for my support. I will support you always, Dane, because I just love your writing, and your books are fab. But this I cannot wait to dive into, and it's the sort of book that I think you can dive into and out of. I think this is a very sort of a text that writers would be interested in if they're looking for a word that's a bit sort of different to the norm. Lexicologist, pronunciation, lex-sic-ol-o-gist. Type, noun. Definition, a student of language, particularly the components of language such as the nature or meaning of words, also a compiler or writer of a dictionary. Example, the lexicologist was overjoyed to discover that lugubrious is a word. Whether you're an author, a poet, a songwriter or a student, the lexicologist's handbook will introduce you to words that you've never heard before and change the way that you look at language. Like a traditional dictionary, but with the boring words left out, the lexicologist's handbook will help you to broaden your vocabulary and impress your friends while entertaining you all the way. It's the perfect book for all lexophiles. I cannot wait to dive in to this. I don't think this is necessarily the kind of book that you read cover to cover. It's something that you just dive into. I would sort of run my finger along the pages and stop and look and find a word, and hopefully a word that I've never heard before, or a definition of a word that I've never necessarily thought of before. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to this and happy to add this to my collection. So yes, on to the books that I need to unpack. So I have one that was a treat from my husband Duncan, and this is from Waterstones. It is a pre-order of a book that I have been dying for. It's probably one of my most anticipated of 2021, but I will leave that for now and come back to it. And I will open this parcel. So if this is the right parcel and it's the correct books, yes it is. So I can go on with the story that I was going to tell you while I rip into the paper. So on Instagram I follow Jean Mingus, who is also a booktuber as well. Jean's Thoughts, I think her channel is called. Yes, also her Instagram has that handle as well. She did an Instagram, I can't open this, she did an Instagram clothing sale, and whenever she does a clothing sale she sells some of her books as well. And there was a paperback edition of this book, and I was a bit too late commenting that I would like to buy it. It was already gone, so I hopped on over to eBay and I picked these up. They are the same book, but they're different editions of the book. One is from, I think, 1992, and the other is from about the mid-2000s. So yeah, this has been really well packed. I haven't left feedback for this yet, because obviously I wasn't sure it was definitely these things that were in the package. So when I leave feedback, they will be getting very good feedback, because it's well packaged and it's survived the journey. So, without much further ado, they are, rather, the same book. This is Poems on the Underground. This is the illustrated edition, and I think this one is from about 1992, 93 possibly. And this is Poems on the Underground, and this is like the 10th edition. So yeah, I was really excited to see this on Jean's Instagram sale, even though I didn't get to buy her edition. I picked up these, obviously, a few months ago. Actually, probably more like a year ago. I think it was in like during the first lockdown. Jen Campbell, she put on her Instagram story that she had bought from the Poetry Society. She had bought poems, like posters that had been on the Underground, and I, being, you know, like a magpie, had to have a couple. So I went over and picked two poems that I really, really liked, and yeah, I have them framed in my bedroom, and I didn't know that the books existed. So yeah, I'm really excited to get to these, and especially this one because it is illustrated with colour illustrations, and I'm fairly certain that the listing on eBay had a drawing as well, which I cannot find now. Where is it? Where are you? This book is gorgeous. I love it so much. No, I can't find it. It was, anyway, the drawing that I saw on the not on the Instagram, on the eBay listing was it was a drawing from Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, a John Tenniel original sketch. And I think it was either the Lobster Quadrille was the poem or the Jabberwocky was. But yeah, I'm so excited for these. Collection of poetry, the London Underground trains, obviously in London. They have in their advertising frames above the windows, they have poems in them. Poems on the Underground continue to delight London's subterranean travellers every 4 months. Sorry, that's really bad reading there. Poems on the Underground continue to delight London's subterranean travellers. Every 4 months, another 5 poems appear in the tube carriages, chosen by the novelist Judith Chernaik and the poets Cicely, Herbert and Gerard Benson. Individually, these poems excite different senses in turn. Together, they make a remarkable and growing anthology that is already an integral part of the London psyche. This new illustrated edition includes all the poems and illustrations from 100 poems on the Underground, together with the 15 further poems from the 1992 programme. Once again, themes great and small, light and serious have taken their place in the tube trains. Between the advertisements for mints and temps, and once again, public response has been overwhelming. Also included are 24 posters from the golden age of underground art, reproduced here in full colour. In addition to their striking graphic imagery, each poster features lines of poetry, or occasionally prose, of special significance, proving that poetry has a role to play in underground travel as many as 80 years ago. This memorable collection of poems and posters suggests that poetry takes on new life in a new context. So having lifted the spirit of many a weary traveller, Poems on the Underground once again return to the printed page, where they can be read anew and remembered with affection. This I cannot wait to get to. I think this one says pretty much the same thing inside. The now familiar poem posters first appeared in London's tube and underground trains in 1986. The idea was simple enough. Why not convert the empty advertising space above the passengers' heads into a simple celebration of the poetry that has underscored English life and literature for 1,000 years or more? The poems soon caught the public imagination. Here on the trains, there was at last something different. Words to soothe, inspire, move, charm, surprise, arouse, even occasionally to shock, but never to sell. The programme grew and attracted international attention, so that now there are similar programmes in public poetry similar programmes of public poetry on transport systems around the world, from New York to Shanghai, including Dublin, Paris, Athens, Stuttgart, St. Petersburg, Moscow, San Francisco and Barcelona. The Poems on the Underground brought a new pleasure to travelling in the city and a new audience to the work of poets from around the world and across the ages. This latest collection, old favourites alongside the new, famous names jostling with the unknown, proves once again that poetry is there for all of us to read and enjoy on the page as much as on the train. So yes, I am so excited for these, and I only wanted the one. I think it was the paperback edition of this one, but when I searched on eBay, there was a listing that had the two, and I couldn't pass up the illustrated one. So yeah. So on to this one, which I am so excited about. This is a treat from my husband. It is a pre-order, and I cannot wait to share this with you. So I'm going to shut up and I'm going to open it. These never open properly. They always leave a bit still to be pulled open. Oh my word. Oh my goodness. Right, okay. I'm just going to rip you open. I can't. It's actually like Fort Knox trying to get into this. Right. Now, are you ready? It is The Man Who Died Twice by Richard Osman, and this is obviously the sequel to the Thursday Murder Club, and I'm so excited. Are you ready to see the page edges? It's foxes. Oh my goodness, I love it. I love it so much, and as well, the end papers. Oh my goodness, stunning. And is there anything? There is. There's a fox on the front cover, and it says on the little sticker, which we don't like, signed Waterstone's exclusive item, includes an extra outtake chapter. Okay, wasn't sure it was going to have anything like that in it, but it should, and it is. It's signed, and not only is it signed, but it's also dated. So exclusive signed edition, Richard Osman, September 2021. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. It's the following Thursday. Elizabeth has received a letter from an old colleague, a man with whom she has a long history. He needs her help. His story involves stolen diamonds, a violent mobster, and a very real threat to his life. As bodies start piling up, Elizabeth enlists Joyce, Ibrahim and Ron in the hunt for a ruthless murderer. And if they find the diamonds too, well, wouldn't that be a bonus? But this time they are up against an enemy who wouldn't bat an eyelid at knocking off 4 septuagenarians. Can the Thursday Murder Club find the killer before the killer finds them? Oh, right, I'm going to read this in October. I can't believe I'm putting it off until then, but this is going to be like a spooky month extraordinaire read, and I can't wait. And also, I have a week off from work in the early part of October, so I have plans to read lots and not do anything else other than maybe make the occasional cup of tea. So yes, oh, thank you, darling Duncan, for buying me this gorgeous book, and I am so over the moon with it. But yes, now that I have gushed on and on about Richard Osman's new book, I shall say thank you for watching. I shall let you go on with your day. Whatever you're doing, I hope you have so much fun doing it. Whatever you're reading, I hope you love it. Stay fabulous, be amazing, be yourself, stay safe, and I'll see you again soon for another video. Bye bye.